Guys, welcome back to the channel. We're going to be talking about how to buy a house with the VA loan and the steps associated with it. The VA loan is a little different than, your conventional loan, FHA loan, or whatever other loans that you're going to use. Loan products do differ from each other, so it's important to know the steps associated with the VA loan specifically. One of the first things you have to focus on is getting your eligibility status. Are you even eligible? The first thing you have to do is go to the VA website and download your certificate of eligibility. I do have another video linked down below talking about what that is, how to get it, and what it's used for. Basically a certificate that tells you, yes, you can use the VA loan. You then hand this off to the lender to help start the process. You have to focus on getting a lender that works with VA loans. Not all lenders work with VA loans, and there are very specific stipulations with working with them, so you need to find somebody that works with them. If they are not proficient and well-versed in the matter, find another one. And before you do anything, do not look at houses before getting a pre-approval letter. You can get pre-qualified and you can get pre-approved. There is a difference. I recommend getting pre-approved. At this point in time, the lender is going to pull your credit and see whether you were worthy of getting a house or not. And if you are, they are going to tell you how much you are eligible for. So you will get your pre-approval letter of, say, $200,000, $300,000, or whatever the price may be that you qualify for. This is gathered from the documents that you provide them, like your W-2s, your LES for military, income, your debt-to-income ratio, your payments, and your COE. Once you have your pre-approval in hand, you're ready to look at houses. This is where 100% you should get a real estate agent. Really what happens is you can find them on Zillow, you can find them on Realtor.com, or you can drive around, or just let your agent do the work. Tell your agent how many bedrooms you want, how many bathrooms, do you want 1-story, 2-story, are you looking for a pool, do you want an HOA? There's going to be all these wants and needs. This is the time that you need to determine what those are. The real estate agent can then look through the MLS, off-market listings, and whatever other sources that they have to find the perfect home for you. A good agent will flood you with a lot of listings, and from there you can choose what you like and you schedule a showing. You do not have to go to an open house. All you have to do is tell them, I want to see this, and they should be able to take you at any given point based on both parties' schedules. Once you find one that you like, submit an offer, see what happens. Remember that not every offer is going to get accepted. In a crazy market like today, in both a good way and a bad way, it can be a little competitive. So don't be discouraged when you have a house that you love and then the offer gets denied. It's nothing about you. It could be that somebody else came in with a higher offer or better terms that the seller was looking for. If it gets denied, just keep going on with the process. There are so many homes constantly coming onto the market. If there's nothing you find now, tomorrow, another one can come. The next month, another one can come. Some buyers give up because there's nothing out there right now. There can be 5 amazing properties that fit your criteria that come into the picture 2 weeks from now. If you're not ready to take the leap and submit an offer at that time, another buyer will. Basically, be patient. The offer is not solid until both parties sign. So you can submit an offer, the sellers can commit to a counter offer, and the counter offer is not valid until you sign and they sign. The agreement must be agreed to by both parties to make it a binding contract. Once the contract is signed and you guys are in that agreement, there are many things to come after that. This is not when you celebrate. Yes, it's exciting, but wait to celebrate until after closing. Depending on the contract, you usually have a couple days to get an inspector in there and check out the property. This is going to give you a long list of things that are wrong with the property. If these problems come up on the inspection, this is your opportunity to have your agent negotiate for repairs. Keep in mind that not everything needs to be fixed for the loan to go through. If you're comfortable with doing some of those repairs on your own, then by all means, go ahead. If it's something I can fix and the seller's not willing to fix it, that's perfectly fine. But there are things that do need to be fixed for the lender to say, hey, yes, we will give you the money for this house. So your real estate agent will help you determine what those things are to help negotiate in the deal. When you're first under contract or in the escrow period, you enter what's called the option period. The option period is only a couple days, up to around 10 days. It really depends on the contract and what you state in that, which is very important. But let's just say you have 7 days in your option period. From the day that you got under contract, so let's say that's May 1st, you have until May 8th or so to back out due to whatever terms in the contract. Say there's something that comes up on the inspection, like a foundation issue that's going to be $16,000 to fix, and you don't want to do it, and the seller doesn't want to either, the lender's not going to give you the loan for the house. So that might be an opportunity for either the agent to negotiate the repair for that, which the seller's going to have to cover, or you're going to have to back out the deal. But it's okay if you back out of the deal because in the option period, you can do so. There are also other things in a contract that can give you the reason to back out legally if X, Y, and Z happen, like funding issues, house issues, or if the seller were to not abide by whatever is in the contract, which they would be breaching the contract, and that's a them problem, not a you problem, other than not getting the house. Real estate contracts, though, are legal contracts, so you must be diligent in following the rules within the contract. They are sometimes a little difficult to understand, and that's why having a real estate agent on your side representing you and not the sellers is crucial. Say all of the criteria on the inspection are good to go, you guys have come to a good agreement on repairs or no repairs, then you proceed with the rest of the things to do. As a buyer, you may be anxious in this period because it does take around 30 to 45 days on average to close a VA loan. So just sit tight, make sure that you get the information to your lender and the information to your real estate agent as they ask for them. A good real estate agent and a good lender is going to take care of all of these things, keep you updated, and make sure that every timeline within this period is met, such as the inspection, the appraisal, making sure option and earnest money get to the title company. In the first couple days, once you have got under contract, you will possibly, depending on your contract, send your option and earnest money. The option money is a certain amount of money that you give up front by saying, hey, this is the amount of money that I'm willing to give you to give me the option to back out in a certain period. I highly recommend having this option period because it gives you the opportunity to say, I don't want this. Your earnest money is money that you give up front and you give it to the title company by saying, hey, I'm serious about this deal, here's $1,000. Stay alarmed, you should never send this money to the seller or to anybody. It should be to the title company. The title company will then hold on to it and it'll go towards the funds towards closing or give back to you in your pocket at the end of the deal after closing. For example, say you're a VA buyer and you're buying with 0% down. The sellers pay for all costs and you put down $1,500 for your earnest money. You should be getting that $1,500 back after closing. Moving on to documentation on the lender side, the lender may or may not ask you for documents like your W-2, pay stubs, any other information due to debts or funds from family to help with closing costs. So if they ask you for documentation after you've already gotten into contract, it's not because they don't know their job, it's because they might need extra documentation to bring to the underwriter. The lender is not the one that typically just closes the deal. There are other people involved that they have to bring it to closer to the closing day. A little bit closer to the closing day, the appraisal is going to get ordered to determine the value of your house. Keep in mind that with VA loans, whenever you're buying a house and the lender is saying, hey, you're approved for $200,000, you can't go over that $200,000 unless you are going to front the extra money. This is why it's crucial to have a real estate agent on your team, on your side, representing you, because here's a good example. Let's just say that we found a property. I'm your agent, you're a buyer, and you find a house for $280,000. That's the listing price, and that's what we have agreed to. You may come back and say, no, this property is actually worth $260,000. At this time, we're all very excited to close, but we have an obstacle. Some of the options at this point is to have some negotiations meet in the middle to where we're happy with. If the buyer can front $10,000 in cash and is willing to pay the $270,000, great, but the lender's only going to give you $260,000 for the loan. Another option is the sellers can drop the price to $260,000. This may be a fear that a seller has, but a good listing agent working for the seller is going to present them the possibility that this may happen. And that is why having a good listing agent listing your property at a fair market value is very strong for both parties. Once everything is good with the appraisal, it's only so much time until we're clear to close. The lender has then brought everything to the underwriter. The underwriter approves, and we're close to funding the deal. Right before closing day, the buyer will have the opportunity to walk the house to make sure that all repairs are done and good to go. If you're happy with it, we do a little check mark, we keep going with the process, and next thing you know, you're at the closing table signing lots of documents and getting the keys to your property. It is not until after closing that the loan will then be funded by the lender. This time, that's where you pop that champagne and you have gotten your house with a VA loan. There are so many amazing loan products out there, but the VA loan 100% is my favorite because there's no debt to income requirements. It's a little bit more lenient to help veterans out. The fees are lower, and the fact that you only have to put 0% down is amazing. If you have any questions about the VA loan, any other loan products, or anything real estate related, leave a comment down below and I can answer any of them in another YouTube video. Thank you for watching and we'll catch you next time.